Hello everyone, welcome back to another Monster Hunter Mondays. Hopefully you can hear me right now, which is the opening line I do for every time I stream or host stream. We're back this time. We're not doing any Monster Hunter Rise this week. We're actually going to start picking up more Monster Hunter World. We're going to do that in the interim while we wait for Title Update 3 for Monster Hunter Rise. So tonight we're back on the PC gang, and we are going to, I think we're going to do some guiding lands. And then if Osprey shows up, we might be doing quest stuff. Depends on how he's feeling tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in terms of progress on Monster Hunter World, I think, Tom, you have done Fatalis. I have not.
I have tried Fatalis. I have not actually successfully done it.
I still need to do a couple of the final hunts. Elytron, the grown-up version of the baby boy. Whatever, Safi Jiva or whatever it is. And then there's a couple hunts that I still need to do also, but our friend Osprey is, I think, the furthest back and is still working his way through Iceborne stuff. So we thought it would be fun while we're waiting on Title 3 updates from Sunbreak, which I guess we're going to get news about that tomorrow, it sounds like.
Yep. I haven't checked in a while, but I'm hoping so, yeah.
Or maybe it's Wednesday. Whatever it is, we're planning on another stream Thursday to do. I'm planning on it to talk about whatever the Sunbreak news is and all that. And also, I don't know, Tom, is the Extra Life stuff on screen? You want to talk that real quick while I pick out a quest?
Yeah, so I mentioned it in last week's Elden Ring stream, but this year we are doing another Extra Life campaign. We are raising money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital, which is a hospital local to Cameron and I and the core members of Arbitrary Hero. And I'll put the link here in chat in a sec. But yeah, we are currently doing our donation drive. We've got a few giveaways and prizes and more incentives of that nature that we're doing again like we did last year. And as usual, we are going to do a big stream this year, but it's not going to be 24 hours. It's going to be 12 hours. We are going to be doing that 12-hour stream on December 10th, which is a Saturday.
Because we're adults.
Because we're adults and because 24 hours is hard when everyone else's schedule is normal and not awake at 3 in the morning. So yeah, we're going to be doing another 12-hour stream from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on December 10th. And then before that stream in the same week, that Tuesday, the 6th, we are doing a D&D live stream with Hero Forge. We're going to be on Hero Forge's channel. Cameron is going to be running a one-shot that we are going to be playing and streaming in Tailspire, the virtual tabletop game. And that is going to be a lot of us and some other regulars, plus Annika from Hero Forge, one of the representatives, is going to be playing with us. So we've got 2 big streams coming up in December, but until then, we are still raising money for Extra Life. There is a link in the chat that I'll put in a second time because I wish Twitch would let me pin stuff right away from Restream. And this link is our donation page, so go check that out if you want to go see what the whole campaign is about, and if you want to go look at some of our Transformers and Dungeons & Dragons related prizes. All the info for that campaign and how to donate is on that link. So please consider donating. I know it's a very charitable time of year, but if you've got the scratch and can donate responsibly, we would very much appreciate your support.
Yeah, and while Tom's getting ready for the quest, so I'm starting it off with Behemoth just to get the thumbnail out of the way, and I don't think I've ever actually done this quest.
I have not done it in years.
I haven't done on stream. But this is regular Behemoth, baby Behemoth, not the extreme version.
Okay. What are all
but yeah, we did our first playtest of the our
That's
proper
right. Yeah, we did.
play through an entire adventure of Tailspire. Tom has been our handy dandy cameraman. I think it went pretty well. We were still learning how to figure stuff out, but I think we're going to be ready for the stream. And Paz is here. Hey, Paz.
Hola. So, I know you guys are talking about your D&D, which I'm very, very proud of you guys for, because that's amazing. But I'm not sure how much you guys are following it. But one D&D, the next, I guess you can say, iteration of D&D, has finally started playtesting. And my God, I know someone that's working on that, and he sent me like 6 pages. I'm not gonna say everything because some of it is still being playtested, but if you want, I can discuss some of the changes that are already been confirmed for one D&D. Some good, some bad. Some, like I said, a lot of this stuff is up to change because it is being playtested right now.
Yeah, Tom, have you been following any of the playtest documentation?
I
stuff?
know nothing about 1D&D so far, unfortunately.
So it looks like it's, generally speaking, an extension of 5th edition. They have put out 2 sets of playtest documents so far. Like Paz mentioned, they did one for the expert classes. So what is that? Rogue, Bard, Monk,
Mm-hmm.
or Rogue, Bard, Ranger, and then yeah, they put something else out. I don't know what the
There's
second
some
set
martial
document.
classes stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah. So what has popped out in your mind, Paz, in terms of changes?
Well, good change, at least in my mind, is currently in D&D. One of the most popular races is variant human,
Also, hi Shanice, hi
and
Ranta.
that's just because it's a very good race. But no longer are people going to be not really punished, but your ability score comes from your background, which it kind of should, and not from your race. You'll still get
Yeah,
racial
they're
features like
separating.
dark vision
They're
and
separating
whatnot,
the like
but yes.
bioessentialism of your race
I get
determines
this reference
your
now.
stats.
Which, thank God, because my gosh, variant humans are a plague on this planet. Some things that I found interesting is you can really customize your background to be anything you want. You are no longer limited to I'm a soldier, so I would, but you can add so much damn flavor to this. Let's say I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take a soldier background, but instead of I was on the front line, maybe I was commander. So instead of taking like a strength, I'll take constitution and wisdom because I was a battle-hardened commander. Maybe I was a scout, so I'll take more dexterity and stuff. So you can really, really customize your background. So the 2 options you get is you can either upgrade a stat to +2 and a +1, or so that's 2 stats with a +2 and a +1, or you can get 3 stats at all +1, which I like quite a lot. Abilities are going to be more prevalent from what it seems. So we're not gonna just get, your basic, oh, there's a big boulder on top of the hill, you gotta use your strength. No, maybe there's a little more ingenuity.
Controls of
And
this
maybe
ball.
it's not just push boulder with strength. Maybe you can, use your wisdom and being like, well, there's a couple lighter boulders up this mountain. Maybe if we hit it, we can make a big old avalanche rather than just one big boulder. So I'm really looking forward to that because as much fun as abilities are, if you get pigeonholed a lot in D&D sometimes, where your barbarian's always big, tough, strong man. But maybe he can become a smart barbarian. That would be really fun. I've never seen that before, and I've been playing D&D for a very long time. I'm not saying that I've never seen someone play an intelligent barbarian, but at the same time, no one's really going to dump their intelligence stat when they're playing, a barbarian, where strength is much more prevalent. So I'm hoping that 1D&D kind of fixes some of the biggest issues, which is they're addressing them. I don't know if I'll fix them, but I am very happy with the current progression, I should say, because a lot of them are just fantastic. I love the now that your background, you can really customize it. Your background is your background. So no longer do we just have to have rogues who are just my parents were murdered and I grew up on the streets and now I'm a straight murder. No, maybe you can, you know, you can customize your thing. You don't just have to be, like I said, pigeonholed to one idea for your character, which I love because, God, is there so many characters that were just like that. So I hope that they address some of the glaring issues. They are fixing some of the biggest issues with abilities, or feats, I should say. I always say abilities, I mean feats.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, is that feats are getting moved into the background space. So like a lot of backgrounds are going to start giving feats. It seems like feats are generally going to be more common. From what I could see, it looks like feats are still going to be competing with ASIs somewhat, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish they'd decouple them entirely, but we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, the 1D&D stuff looks pretty interesting. And like you said, it looks like they're at least looking at the right things.
For instance, there was a feat called Alert, okay? It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. And that was all kind of, not wasted, but it wasn't great in the sense. It was a pretty type of feat. And now there's a new alert that essentially lets you, one of its abilities, lets you switch initiative with any other character. And that's amazing, because that means you're extra alert. So let's say I am playing a rogue, and I roll pretty high initiative, as rogues do. But I'm like, you know what? We gotta face a bunch of archers. Hey, wizard, switch positions with me, so now the wizard's going first, and they might be able to, you know, catch Earth Wall or something, and be able to mitigate the ton of damage you're gonna take. It's opening up so many, and that's just one feat that you can take, and it's an early feat as well. We're gonna get kind of an evolution of features, and
so that's something to point out, is that feats, it looks like, Tom, feats in 1D&D are going to also be able to level up. So you'll get like feat trees to choose from.
Interesting.
I'm curious what your like impression, just us talking about it, if you're like excited about these things, or if you're like, I don't care too much. I was pretty happy.
I'll admit I was trying not to die for most of that, but from what I did here, I mean, like, it does sound interesting. I think like it makes, I have to agree, like the background stuff in 5e now is like, it's cool, but like the fact that it's, I mean, backgrounds are technically optional, which I've always found interesting, because the benefits they give you in terms of like proficiencies with abilities is, I mean, it's good, right? It's better to have 2 proficiencies you might never use than to not, I guess.
Yeah.
Playing it min-maxing style.
Wait, are you saying backgrounds are an optional rule?
Yeah, if I recall, backgrounds are optional. You don't actually, they're not required. But that's the thing, they're so common, right, that you would never actually, like, it's one of those things that's like,
you
oh,
never
you never
skip
know
it because it's just a free thing for your character.
Right, but I like...
But it also doesn't matter too much right now what your background is.
Exactly. It's not an essential thing, but I do like where, I think the idea they're doing for this is a little bit better, just because, like, it's going to be something that's, like, actually more representative of your character's, like, background having a bigger influence on, like, who they are. But, like, at the same time, yeah, I don't know, like, in practice, maybe it won't be that much of a benefit, but, like, it seems like it's going to be a much better way of doing, like, character development. It's not just like, oh, my level is this arbitrary number increase. Now it's more like, yeah, like, if you have a certain background, that's something you can get better at. It makes sense for that to kind of grow with you and have its own like benefits. The one thing I'm hopeful is that it's not going to like detract from. I don't want it to like detract from, you know, if like leveling up becomes more complicated. That might be a little bit of a turnoff for some people, but I think that's pretty minor in comparison to like what it represents.
Yeah, I will say, have either of you played Pathfinder 2nd Edition? I got to play some of it recently.
I have not played
any
of that, no.
Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I enjoyed like some of the things that they had going on, but it was a kind of a frustrating experience for me as a new player to create a character based on like just how complicated the leveling, the multi-tiered like skill system is, and I hope one D&D doesn't do that.
Yeah. We gotta get behind the rock.
Go over some, like, I will say these are the biggest changes.
Behind the rock?
Do we? I don't know.
Spell lists are
No, I guess not.
completely different now.
Yes. And I don't love the new Bard spell list.
I love it. I love Arcane. Honestly, I like it. I think it's a good thing overall because having evocation, illusion, it's cluttered, it's messy, there's 1,000 damn spells. Half of them never get used because they're just going to be like Fireball. You know, I think it's going to be a good thing that that Arcane, Primal, and what's the last one for priests and all that? Divine.
Divine.
Yes. So so far am liking that. Races are going to be much more free. You can finally really pick any goddamn race because you're doing away with ability score improvements and you're just focusing on that racial dark vision. I can breathe underwater. I can fly. Blah blah blah.
The unique thing each race will get, like bugbears can do their ambushes, goblins can hide, that sort of stuff. Which is I do like that stuff. Hey Boom Headshot, how's it going? Yeah,
hey,
I
Boom
did
Headshot.
get rocked. I do kind of suck.
Languages are a little different now. We have a new one, sign language, which is fucking fantastic.
Interesting.
Yes, every
Like the representation
so
there.
everyone on the planet, when you are born, you start with.
God damn it! What
Jeez.
did I do wrong there?
Rip.
So you no longer have to, be like, oh, I speak common in this other language. Everyone, it's kind of like saying, no shit, everyone's gonna speak the same language essentially because that's where they're from. But now a lot of languages, so that means that when you make your character, you get your common language, which is the one everyone speaks, and you can pick another language that you want. One of them is sign language, and I was just thinking of all the possibilities.
Ooh, hold on. Hi, Max. Max Kazadamiri. I don't think we have room in this hunt, but we have room in the lobby. The lobby information should be posted somewhere. Give me just a second, and I can put it in chat.
Oof. So Ecliptic Meteor, that's what it's called.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Max.
Just a warning, Max. Tom and I have been playing Rise and Sunbreak for a really long time.
And Elden Ring for me, which has really fucked up my control scheme. I was trying to hit RB to attack, and I'm like, this is not it.
Yeah, so we kind of suck in the moment. But yeah, we're doing turns if you want to come hop in and do some turns. God damn it. Well, fun.
Wait, do I have a... Nope. Okay, that's not what I needed.
And I've got its enmity, and I'm stunned. Come on, dude, don't triple cart. You idiot. I'm sorry, everyone.
You're good. I put your health back up. You're still bleeding, but you should have enough to survive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'll be right back. This is...
Yeah, I would say and you were like, oh, we're gonna start with Behemoth. I was like, oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, I thought because it's high ranked, I thought it was not gonna be that bad.
Behemoth is one where I've only done it like twice, and it was like at my like capacity for like hard bosses, so I have no idea how easy it's supposed to be after the first few times. Fun though. Well, it's funny because now that I've played a little bit of 14, I do recognize a lot of the things he's doing. I think that's keeping me alive.
Like, I know that thing.
It's not the exact moveset. I mean, because in 14, he takes like 2 minutes to kill because he's low level content.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those where like the sound effects are tripping me up because I'm like, I feel like I should be on my mouse and keyboard right now. Why is my health going down? I thought I took full drink.
Every hit, and I'm wearing my master gear, I think. Am I not wearing my master gear? Am I wearing something super stupid?
I left on my highest rank set after whatever the last thing I think the last time we played was in July. That's what I have on my Steam anyway.
Yeah, I've got Master Rank gear, but I'm just getting bodied. All right.
Sorry, I'm playing.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Anything I might say? Yeah. I've gotten back into GBA games like Virtual Boy Advance. I mean, a complete. Oh no, don't worry, Nintendo. I have a complete, legitimate Game Boy in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And I'm totally playing. But yeah, so D&D, lots of things are changing. I'm excited. I'm also nervous because critical roles are now completely out the fucking window, and I have no idea what any of it is.
I think they changed it back. I heard that the most recent documentation they sent went back to the way critical roles work in 5th edition. But yeah, they did a thing where they were trying to reintroduce critical fumbles and stuff, and I was like, no, don't do that.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the
but
one
Cameron, real quick, you were not.
critical.
But you were not happy with the roles, instead, like how the classes are not grouped into roles.
No, I'm fine with that. Everyone seems to, like, most people seem to enjoy the new way the bard works. And to me, I liked the old bard. I like the bard that has skill monkey stuff and can heal and do a little bit of everything and does buffing and all that stuff. We'll have to see. Maybe.
One D&D is that it's compatible with 5e, so you can still play a bard the old way.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is
I'll be curious to see how they work through that stuff once stuff gets published.
But that's the last thing I just want to really quick talk about is just bards, rangers, rogues are considered experts, so they all have a thematic role or a mechanic role that they're kind of grouped into. So if you're gonna like send off a party, you kind of want to have at least one per role. So you're gonna want to have an expert role, which are your bards, your rangers, and your rogues. And then you're gonna want to have a warrior role, which are your barbarians, your fighters, and your monks. And you're gonna want to have a mage role, which are your sorcerer, your warlocks, and your wizards. And then there's even a priest role, which are your clerics, your druids, and your paladins. Those are the 4 groups that they have in each class inside that. But here's the interesting thing. People are saying, well, what about the artificer? Because it doesn't really have a role. They're saying they might introduce 3 new classes that have an artificer role for them. So maybe mechanical, and we get, 3 or 2 to 3 more classes, which would be amazing. Because D&D is not have a new class in freaking forever. So I'm hoping
we're going
we
back
get
together and hope.
That was bad. What are we talking about?
all the new D&D shit.
And we just got bodied by Behemoth.
Yeah, I didn't see the thing coming in
Hi,
time.
Black Knight, how you doing, brother?
I am going to finish up my XCOM real quick, and then I'll be right there.
My other equipment.
Sure.
Ooh, what you killing?
Well, let's see. I had a squad of 6, and there were like maybe 20 enemies all grouped up around me. I prayed to RNGesus, and somehow, the second one, the second remake. Or wait, what? Never mind.
I was like, that doesn't answer my question, brother.
Yeah.
While we're Tom's gonna pick the next quest.
Yeah, I thought you said what you're kidding.
Are we doing guiding lanes, or what did you? I thought that's what you said earlier.
Well, I was.
It doesn't matter to me, but I just want to know before I pick.
No, pick whatever. I think we're just doing turns.
Okay.
With whatever we need, parts we might need, whatever stuff.
Go back to my fishes.
But yeah, let's switch over. We'll talk more D&D in a little bit, but let's talk some Gundam. So, it's been a little while. Obviously, we didn't stream for the past 2 weeks. We've been busy. Tommy, I mean, you streamed. I don't know if you talked any Gundam stuff then, but a week ago, episode 6 came out, and I think you, Paz, and I are all caught up now to episode 6.
Yep.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6 is the one with Ellen, mostly Ellen. I'm just gonna say Ellen.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So in my mind,
Ellen.
it's Suletta. I'm gonna call her Sarah.
Okay.
Ghoul is Greg. Suletta.
That's
Greg.
gonna be harder to remember than just calling them by their names.
Yeah, Ghoul,
Yeah.
I know. Suletta, I know. I just can't remember Ellen's name. So, Tom, you, I guess, start us off. Share your thoughts of the first 6 episodes and everything.
Okay, so hold on, let me get this quest put together first. From what I remember, I like this
12 or
episode.
24 episodes. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure
anyone
about.
knows, right?
No idea.
Yeah, not
Because
that
if it's
that I
12,
know
then we're at the halfway point.
of.
I got the feeling that it'll be 24 with like a time skip in between the sets of 12 or something.
Hi, hello.
Let's fucking go. Who doesn't love time skips?
Hi,
Yeah.
hello, how are you today? How's it going? All right, yeah, Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, so I like this episode. I mean, I'm also of the camp where if it's a Gundam show and the story is decent enough, I probably won't actually criticize a lot of it until it's over. But I thought it was good. I like at least the fight. Obviously, is the first thing I think of when I think of these episodes. But I did like that it kind of continued. I mean, obviously, it's going to have a serious like through line to it. But what I liked about the story a lot was they are doing more of like the created human stuff, I guess. I don't know how much into spoilers we're going to go about that, but I thought it was nice to see like they're doing the typical anime thing of like the happy-go-lucky protagonist is trying to like break through the exterior shell of someone else, but the way that this show has been doing it so far, it kind of tracks with the rest of it. But I liked the character development there. I thought it was good, or at least decent. I thought the ending was especially just not even that brutal, but just the way that it ended is like it's falling into line with like how the prologue ended, with how some of the stuff in the early show kind of works. I liked the fight this time, and that it did involve someone that she was actually like nervous about fighting. Like the Ghoul fight was kind of like, yeah, okay, but I'm just a better like martial fighter than you are. This guy actually had some like drone weapons, which was cool. I really like the drone weapons in this so far.
It was a Gundam versus Gundam fight.
It really was. And it also, what I liked about this is the whole, Ellen and his clones thing is revealing more about like the permit score versus what Suletta's ability is. That's something that I know they're slowly revealing, but I think that's pretty fascinating about how, if it's new types in one thing, or if it's, Gundanium in another, permit score seems to be the new like let me hit the part. Seems to be like the new like meta thing, and I think this episode did a really good job of like starting to open up that dialogue about like, yeah, what is a data storm and like what is all this stuff. And it's also, what I liked is that it revealed a lot about the Pale House, I think, and like how the different houses have like different like philosophies about how they manufacture stuff, but also how they make their war machines.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, I liked it. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. I mean, if you've liked the show so far, I think it's a good continuation of it. I don't think it was like super left field by any means, but I thought, it was pretty decent. I think the pacing of it is going to be a little weird because I'm not sure how much they're trying to focus on each character. But in terms of like the main character's development, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, to echo what you said, I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the last 2 episodes. I think it continues building. I mean, the cool thing is we kind of, I guess, I assume that, and fuck it, spoilers. The show's a week old. If you don't want Gundam spoilers,
I already kind of was talking about the spoilers, so yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I mean,
on
it did come out November 6th, and it's the 14th, so.
Hey, Boom Headshot.
Yeah.
Hey, David. A lot of people in chat. Hello.
Oh yeah, Boom Headshot. Yeah, you're all caught up. Good. If you don't want to get spoiled, stop listening to us and go watch some Gundam. But
You should. It's good.
I went in assuming that her mom was the only survival of the Vanitas project. So it's really interesting that.
Oh yeah,
like,
that too.
The cool thing is, to me, some of our predictions have come true. Like, I think one of my personal predictions was that everyone has been developing gun format and Gundam technology and just hiding it from the Emperor Dickhead dude, CEO Emperor, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's the case. Like, Ariel obviously is not the only Gundam. Puel House has their own Gundam that they've developed in secret. Paz, your prediction about the the effects of
AIs.
AI and stuff seems to be coming true, especially with like you said, Tom. There is some sort of difference between what the gun format that we saw in the prologue and the other. I feel like the other houses and companies view the gun format as, and what Aerial is.
Yeah, and
Aerial is something
that's
unique. In
part of
terms
what I meant to hit
AI.
on too was the whole like, I think what the trope or format is gonna be is like all the different houses, like even the Jetrix do try to do like the AI prediction thing when Ghoul fights her the second time. So it seems like every house is, it's showing, you know, it's the competitive, like they'll do whatever it takes to win kind of stuff. What I like is I think they're going to find out that it's like, oh, well, some of us use, you know, created humans, some of us use algorithms, but like ultimately it's like, why are we failing using these special formats? And like, even when we're trying to cheat, we still can't win, which is very like, you know, shown in anime, but still, I think it's working here.
So I did watch episode 6 literally right before we streamed, and I did want to clarify. I think I interpreted some stuff differently from the two of you. I'm not sure. So Ellen is, in my view, Ellen is a human being who has been modified to be not embryo clone, but a retroactive clone of the real Ellen.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Who, it sounds like through the test piloting, the real Ellen has, like, he can't pilot a Gundam anymore. The permit score, the gun format will just fuck him up, and he's gonna die if he does it again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they mentioned that in the conversation between Suletta's mom and the other researcher lady, and then they've been taking these people and they've been modifying them to be Ellens or cloning Ellens or something, so that they can continue test piloting without endangering the real one. And so the end of the episode, it sounds like they're essentially gonna pull out the clone's brain because it failed, put its memories and stuff in a new one, and keep continuing. So the next episode, I think, will have an Ellen that is not functionally will be the same character, but in reality is not the same person that we saw in the past 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, I think that was kind of what they were hinting at too at the very end of the episode.
Yeah. Who was the guy? Yeah, the guy, exactly, the guy in 00, I forget his name. Hallelujah, right?
I have not seen 00 yet, but that sounds...
Or have you seen Beer Fest, when in Beer Fest the big fat dude dies and then it's fucking
Landfill.
twin brother
Yeah,
comes
we made
out?
that joke on here a couple weeks ago.
Brother
Yeah,
comes in.
yeah, it's
like
almost like
Tank
Landfill never left.
died.
Yeah. David, no, but I did hear the news about Ash becoming... We can talk about that after Gundam, but that's very funny.
Yeah.
But real quick, because I don't have so much to say on this episode, just because I'm gonna be real. I'm having a little conflict right here. I like the show. I like where it's going. I don't like Ellen. Just straight up. I don't like them. I don't like how they're like, we can break through whatever. This has been done a billion times in a billion other shows. We've seen it time and time again.
Oh yeah, this is nothing new. Like, these tropes are the same, just different paint.
So, and I was really hoping we were just gonna get to like robots fighting. We did get a Gundam duel, which is always fun.
You want the war to happen.
I want the AI revolution. I want the fucking houses to be like, we need to put a stop to this. I want one house to be just full-blown evil, trying to do something, and it's just full-on them versus us type scenario.
Yeah, you're waiting for the tactical military combat to kick in.
I'm waiting for the tactical military.
Which probably won't happen for a while. I think the high school thing is going to happen for a bit.
Yes. I'm fine with the high school thing. I just don't like this part of the high school thing where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder where Ellen is at the end of the episode, and then we're like, we know where he is, but she doesn't, so it's sad. I'm like, I don't care.
It's trying to be more
do
like
not
prestige TV in that it's like,
Yes.
it's not the main character like us
then
learning it through
that's
them.
not
Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to, like, like the very freaking episode 5 real quick where he's fighting against the 3 people. I'm like, that to me was like, well, obviously he's gonna win. Like, we're not gonna see him lose a 1v3.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need to see that. It served no purpose other than, oh, he's a really good Gundam pilot, but we already kind of knew that. I felt like it would have been better if we had saved him for his fight with Ghoul, so then we could have seen them really duke it out, and not for Ghoul just to get humiliated like he did.
Yeah, it does feel like Ghoul is turning into a Worf, where, like, the first episode, they're like, he's the best pilot, and it's like, well, okay, now everyone's gonna kick Ghoul's ass, so we know how much of a threat they are. And it's like...
Exactly. I feel like it could have been better and, like, more... In my brain, it would have been better
after me, what the fuck?
That beginning scene was gone. We don't see him fight the 3 pilots, or maybe we just hear about it or see the end of the fight, and it's like, wow, he kicked their ass. We would have been like, oh, that's cool. And then we just went straight to that fighting. We would have made that fight longer, and then maybe make it closer in, like, fighting. So then we give, God, what's her freaking name? The main girl. God,
Suletta.
Thank you, Suletta. Giving her a little more oomph, because she didn't want to fight him. There was no push. She didn't want to. I'm like, maybe we could have had, like, Ghoul been like, oh my god, I can't believe I lost. But it was like a close duel, and then maybe Suletta would have been like, ooh, I want to fight him. Because her whole thing is, you'll need to tell me more about you if I win. I'm like, no. We don't need any of this. We don't need that.
Yeah, I think unfortunately that's the DNA of the show so far.
Up.
It's not going to change.
But yeah, but like, I feel like it's becoming too drama, and not people fighting a giant machines, which is what we signed up for. I like all the characters. I like everything.
I don't know. I sign up for Gundam for the melodrama.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's kind of what I learned when I was watching the original Mobile Suit Gundam. I was going into it from, like, the Battletech stance, thinking, like, oh, there's going to be these cool, like, you know, as tactical as they can get in 30 minutes kind of fights, even for a kid's cartoon. And it was funny because I was, like, literally Googling, like, what is the most, like, tactical, like, Gundam show? Like, what's the one where it's like, all right, we've got these 3 guys in the hill, but there's 4 of them down there in tanks.
8th MS team.
Well, 8th, and that's what's funny is I watched 8th MS, and even that one, like, is like
so much melodrama,
right? But it is the most. But that's the interesting thing is I looked this up and people were like, honestly, the real reason that people watch Gundam is because these are fighting shows or shonen shows with mechs around them. Like, they really are melodramas. It's like I view it kind of like wrestling. And, you know, I was a little disappointed because I was like, I kind of wish that there was a more tactical show. And then I realized, like, yeah, after G Gundam and Wing, like, that really is what Gundam is. But I agree with Paz where, like, I do want to see that show still. I want to see that show that is like, here's like the, you know, the not like the general pattern of Gundams or whatever, but like I do want to see one that is mostly like, all right, what is the strategic, like, plan for, you know, like humans versus AI or something like that. But I've also kind of come to recognize Gundam is drama, and that's, you know, different flavors of it, I guess.
Yeah, like I am enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the pace. I'm enjoying all the stuff, but these last 2 episodes have not, at least for me personally, have hit as good as the first 4. I felt like the first 4 had really good pacing, some mysteries in there. 5, like I said, we didn't need that duel. I feel like they could have raised the stakes and finally made Suletta grow a goddamn backbone. I get it, we're early, but come on. Let the girl fight her own damn battle. She's clearly not normal. We know this for a fact. Her mother is some weird science lady who did something to her daughter. That's also a fact. We don't know what, but I would have liked to see, especially if we're only getting 12 episodes and this is a halfway point, it would have been great had she stood up to Ellen and been like, I'm gonna fight you. Not because I want to find out about you, but because I'm mad because of what you did to my friend. Right?
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. That to me indicates something about the pacing. My prediction is that 12 will be the halfway point. I think so. We're gonna get the first 12 episodes. We're a quarter of the way through. We'll get 6 more episodes establishing more house politics, as well as building up more conflict between Earthians and Spacians, and the gun format system. And then the war part will not happen until, like, it'll start in episode 12, and I'm predicting we will get a time skip to like a year later with the war having been on for a year or something when we get to episode 13. That is what it feels like it's going for pacing, where the first 12 episodes are going to establish all these very personal relationships.
Yeah.
And then the war will happen and kind of break everything up.
Chaos.
Yeah. Which is, it's a slow build, and it's interesting because I think we talked about this, is that like the Witcher Mercury is like both a Gundam tournament show and it feels like it's gonna be a Gundam War show, even though I guess we don't really have any evidence of that except for the prologue. The only reason we keep saying that, oh, this is gonna be a Gundam War show is because that prologue went so fucking hard.
Yeah, that is. I do kind of agree with that. Where it's like, I do think they, as soon as I knew it was like a tournament thing, I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely like this has been done before a lot, like for sure. And even without the tournament arc stuff, a lot of the other tropes really are. But I'm kind of, I think I'm holding out hope for what Paz was saying like earlier last week, which is like I think it's gonna like halfway through be like, all right, there's more at stake here than just the school stuff, and it's gonna be kind of like I see this a lot with like newer shows like My Hero, where it's like, you know, the main character's best ability is the fact that it like brings people together, and you know that kind of trope, which I'm a sucker for. But also, I hope they do it in a way where it's like, I do like when side characters kind of have more power. Like I forget his name from IBO, but the guy that starts to fight alongside Mikazuki, they do a pretty decent job there.
I don't want everyone to just get spanked by Suleta.
Yeah, he has like the golden, the Hayate or whatever it's called. I liked that because it was like.
I just don't want Naruto Top no Jutsu in this show, please, for the love of God.
Yes, I don't want the actual Shonen Jump version of this where it's just like, you know, time to use the one killer move over and over again.
Yeah.
Which I think is unfortunate because kind of.
Look, I like Rasengan as much as the next guy, but it's a little overused. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I want to see Ariel's abilities get unlocked and Suleta's skill to increase to be more tactically thinking. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But so this week is a break on Gundam. I think episode 7 comes out this coming Sunday.
It does.
So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I'll be able to watch it in a timely manner.
Yeah, I will say I do like the side characters.
I have refused to give my money to Crunchyroll, and I was having a fine time watching stuff on Gundam Info.
I can give you the site if you want, but I watch it on Cameron.
Yeah, DM me that.
Yeah.
But it's been good so far. And I guess any other thoughts we got on Gundam, or?
I was gonna say I do like the side characters a lot. I at least like Choo Choo. I think Choo Choo's a fucking badass, and I know that the one scene is all it really took. But I do like the fact that she is so like she's not warming up that quickly. Which I know is kind of a theme.
Keep her cold.
Yeah, all the characters, even Suleta is like taking a while. Like she's really, everyone's really stuck in their ways. But I like Choo Choo a lot because like the Spacey and Earthian thing, I think is the one trope Gundam can keep doing that I'm like, fuck yeah, I love that shit. I don't care what side is what, but as long as it's like rebellion.
The space people, right?
Right. It's like the main theme of like what the well, I love this is a side tangent, but the way that Universal Century does it, where like all of the first few series up to like Double Zeta are like the Federation are the good guys because Zeon, you know, wants something that you can understand but really is not good in their execution. And then Hathaway's Flash era happens and it's like, oh, nope, Federation was just as set to be the bad guys as Zeon was. It doesn't really fucking matter. Corporations are still the problem.
War happens when it's a failure on all parties. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Good stuff.
But yeah, I mean, like overall, like I am having fun, but I agree with Paz 100%. Like, I'm definitely buying into these tropes because I don't watch anime as often, even though I've seen like a million of these shows. I'm still just like, yeah, but it's also Gundam, and like it doesn't give it a free pass. But there are elements of the show that I think are at least trying to do something new. But I think as a whole, there's still a pretty good chance it might not like revolutionize.
And I gotta talk about these model kits for a second.
Oh yeah,
God, they look good.
Did you see the Elfrith one that I showed you, right? I briefly looked at it. I don't remember what grade it is, but like
That's safer.
I think it's a high grade that's just custom.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was someone's like already made model. But I was gonna say if those are high grades, like I'm sure it was whoever put it together, but those high grades are looking really good. Even compared to like
I've been watching the build videos of them. I've managed to avoid spending money so far. I still have too much of a Gundam backlog to buy anything.
Same.
I already did. I said fuck it. The figure that I showed you in the begin or like the mid-October, I already bought it.
You'll have to remind me which one it was. It was.
Suit.
Oh yeah.
I already pre-ordered it, even though it's not coming until next year. I fucking pre-ordered it because it was beautiful.
Something about the aerial design works for me in a way that I do not like main character Gundam suits.
Really?
I don't know. I do.
I've learned to
my
love
favorite
them more.
shows. I didn't like the Wing suit or the Wing Zero. I didn't like Trans Am. I didn't like Barbados. I think the three primary colors.
I like Barbados because it's so changed, such a difference.
Yeah.
But I get that.
Barbados I also like Barbados because it's not like lasers; it's a fucking club.
Yeah.
I like Barbados. Which one is it? Barbados Lupus.
His second iteration.
I don't like the kits
model
for
kit
him.
that tempted me to pick up Barbados was Barbados Lupus that was released in a pure black and white color scheme, and I was like, that looks good.
I think
Lupus. I think it's because the default Gundams always have the blue, red, and yellow in the chest, and it just looks not good to me. So I never like the main suits. I always like the Mook suits. I like Leo's. I like Flags. I like. I always like the less weird Xeon suits.
You like the traditional, like, what are they called? The big green boys.
Zaku's. Like all the
GMs
and Zaku's. I just call all of the generic ones GMs.
Exactly.
So those are the suits I tend to like, but Ariel is an exception for me that I like. I like Ariel. I prefer Elfrith, or how do you?
I don't like Elfrith, honestly. I don't like the sniper. I'm like, eh.
Oh, I'm so excited to see those. So I was wondering if because they don't pronounce it Elfrith at all. They say it some other way. That's weird.
I know, but we all know how to pronounce the damn thing.
Yeah. But the God damn it. All right, I'm just lost. I'll catch up to you guys eventually.
If you have it like selected on your little right stick, click in, the scout flies should change. I'm like remembering all this, and now I'm just like so spoiled by Rise.
Yeah. But so we got Elfrith in the prologue. Hey, Zephyr King, what's up? You want to hunt with us? We got Elfrith in the prologue.
Out of breath.
And I was like, well, that was cool, and we're never gonna see that fucking suit again. But then there's like 4 other Elfrith model kits that are like other stuff that I'm excited. I mean, I'm assuming, here's my prediction, and maybe it's not true, that Suletta is gonna fight her mom, and her mom's gonna pilot Elfrith at some point. Huh?
Oh, I said that's 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like easy bet right there. So far, at least from what I'm seeing, real quick, none of the models have been released. I'm not even getting.
I think we had a donation.
Ariel till June 13, 2023.
Oh, we have a donation.
Oh, maybe.
It's already out of stock.
Didn't see it in time, but the thing changed the logo for a second.
But I've only seen Ariel be released, and that's the only like one that's been like as a model kit you can visually see what it would look like. I don't think we have any other ones except for ghouls. Those are the only 2 that I've actually seen model kits for. I might be wrong. I guarantee I'm probably wrong, but those are the only 2 I've seen so far.
We've seen Choo-Choos.
Have we? I don't remember what it was.
The trainer, and then she has a custom trainer.
I don't remember.
We've seen pictures of Lilith, though.
We've seen the
for,
what is it? Not the FBI, but the trainers that are used as like the police Gundams for the space station that they're releasing.
yes.
Those are kind of neat.
Yep.
I like them.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Lots of fun stuff. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I I just read that message from Restream Bot.
Oh, which one? Oh,
Should we
the.
talk about that? The Pokemon thing?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Ash is finally world champion, which
Yeah,
He did it in the
it took him
Galar, of
20
course.
years and he's still 11. Let's go.
His.
I'm assuming this means they're gonna retire Ash.
Oh,
I-
100%.
Yeah, I would kind of hope so. Didn't they already have another anime with a different protagonist? Like
They've done that a
recently?
couple times. It's
They've done
mostly
that a couple
side
times.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's all like they had a series with Richie, that a series with the actual Red itself and Pokemon, like that one that was really like manga and fucking game accurate.
Oh
But
yeah, that's right.
I'm so happy that Ash is finally a champion. Just
And it
because
sounds like it was a fun tournament. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it, but it sounds like a fun tournament arc because it was like,
yeah,
the
he
tournament
beat
arc was-
Cynthia.
yeah, it's all the old champions, basically all the
It's
champions from all the
Iris,
games in the
Cynthia.
tournament arc. Yeah,
He beat Cynthia, which is, I think they had to do it because, in my opinion, Cynthia is one of the most hottest attractive trainers there has ever been. But also
she's
the
also
hardest.
famous for the games. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hey, Guns Pony.
She is
Thank
very
you.
difficult, and he also beat Steven Stone. I think he beat Steven Stone. He might not have beaten Steven Stone. He beat one of them though. But yes, and then he faced Leon, and Leon got dusted. Well, he didn't get dusted, but I'm like, if they do Ash dirty for a freaking 8th time, because he already won Alola, that league, technically, but he wasn't like a champion like he is now. He is officially a champion of everything, which is awesome. So I'm like, woo, let's go. So now everyone can stop talking shit about Ash, if anyone that was ever talking shit about Ash. We can now just finally retire our boy, let him live with his mother and Pikachu, because the boy's still 11 after all. He can go back home.
Yeah, he's been 11 for 20 years.
Yeah, I would love for them to retire Ash and just follow the games a little more closely, whereas each season is just a
has a
new
new
protagonist. Like, you don't have to follow the story of the games, but just like
Yeah.
keep things fresh for everyone. Oh, we got some. Let's see, Gunspun. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we are almost at double our extra life goal, which is amazing. So our goal this year, we were kind of keeping things on the easy breezy end this year. We haven't had the time to push as hard as we normally would. But we were like, okay, we'll try and do $1,000, and we're already at, I think last time I checked, we were at like 1,600 something. So awesome! Thanks
17.
everyone for the support. Oh shit, 17, awesome! And if you are interested, we do have like 2 big raffles, a TTRPG raffle and a Transformers raffle, where $10 donations get you entered, and we have a bunch of prizes to give away for those. Which is exciting. Cheryl, I see. Yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd recommend checking out Witch from Mercury. It
Pretty good.
is a lot of fun. What quest are we doing? Kieran. Okay, got it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great place to start watching Gundam, because you don't have to know a lot about Gundam.
It's a good one for if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah.
So Cameron, we're probably, I think we're around the same age. We're both in our 30s, correct?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So Tom, also, I think you're also somewhat in your 30s, correct? And we're in my
He's
30s.
a baby boy.
I'm 28. I'll be there in a year or so.
God dang it, you child! And
He's
I
a
know.
little.
Listen, I've been
Well,
feeling like
that's
I've been
what
30 for
that's
the
what
past
we
4
were
years. I'll be 30 for the next
Well,
10.
he's like 3 years old, so he probably hasn't seen it. But have you guys seen the original Hocus Pocus?
I have.
Nope.
Oh
Long
I've
time
heard
ago.
good things about the sequel. I haven't watched
The
it.
sequel, I will say this. I loved it. I was so happy they brought it back. It's one of the few actually reasons I would say, besides all the Star Wars stuff, to actually look up at a Disney subscription. Because I was like, how dare they? My Hocus Pocus is so special to me because it was like one of my first ever movies that I saw that I was like, yeah, that was like a quote unquote, even though it's not really scary.
Sorry, Chad. I guess we'll be watching me in the Gathering Hub. That's cool.
You can join after the fact.
So
it's full.
The sequel.
You left it open, so there's too many people. Yeah, we've got how many players we have in our lobby?
Hold on, Black Knight, is that you?
We have 5 players in our lobby.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't realize Luna also joined.
No, you're fine. I'll abandon Tom. You join. I'll just hang out and chat.
Okay.
All right.
So sorry, I just wanted to bring
I'm actually gonna take this opportunity to go pee.
I was looking at my Disney Plus thing and I was like, oh, Hocus Pocus 2. That's right. I saw that and it was great.
I remember the 3 witches, I think the most. I don't remember a whole lot. I get that one confused with Halloween Town a lot, I think. If I remember them correctly.
Yeah, the Halloween Town High, Halloween Town.
I remember like the very first one.
They made 4 of those movies.
Yeah, see, I remember the first and maybe the second because I remember that was like Disney Channel in like the early 2000s.
And then Halloween Town 2, Calibur's Revenge.
That's what it is, yeah. Because there's like a bunch of sequels for all those like Disney Channel series that I'm like, I don't recall those. Although I do remember the original stint of movies that came out around the time the Game Boy Advance came out. It was like one every other month, it seemed like. And I was like, I'm surprised I remember like half of this.
Yeah.
A lot of old movies.
So we've talked about Gundams, we've talked about D&D for a bit. Black Knight, do you have any topics you would like to talk about?
Oh shit. What else is new?
Yeah.
It's probably something new in video games. I just don't remember what. There's usually a few things like that.
God of War came out.
Yeah, my roommate's been playing a little bit of that. It definitely seems like it's really good if you liked the first one. I've only watched like a few hours of the first.
I have not played either of those.
It seems like a fun game to like play through. I think the one thing I like in that game that they do, I've mentioned it on stream like a year or so ago, but I like how, depending on who you are, you may hate this, but when Kratos and his son are having a conversation and like you get interrupted by something, they pick it back up, which I think is really cool. Like they don't just like, you know, if you do the GTA thing where you're like, all right, well, I'm at the destination, like, you know, 5 minutes early. I guess I'll just sit in my car and listen to this guy talk to me. It's like, if you want to finish that, you can also like be interrupted and then you can go back to it.
Yeah, I know some games that do that. Like Witcher 3, I'm pretty sure did that, maybe.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that was a good one. Cameron, I can't join because it doesn't let people rejoin after someone leaves.
It's so good to see you.
At least unless
Cameron is not here right now. Can we take a message?
Yeah, I'll just solo hunt something real quick.
Oh, that's dumb. Here, I'll hunt with you.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, the number of quest participants is over the limit. The names of those who have left the quest won't be shown. I don't know why that's important, but...
Oh yeah, that's a thing that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Let him join. Oh, it's just replaying chat from before.
All right. You want to pick something easy?
Sure. I'm down for whatever. Yeah. What is on my weapon? Oh, that's right. They've got like the little weapon charms in this. I forget what those do.
Yeah, the little dinky things.
So have we gotten any news for TU3 yet? Aside from the follower updates or the follower?
So
yeah.
So we're I think there's going to be an announcement on Wednesday, and the plan is to stream on Thursday to be able to talk about it. Nintendo said and Capcom said they have an announcement on Wednesday that'll have like, I think it'll be the announcement with the date and everything.
Hello.
What we're actually going to kill there?
Yeah. I've heard some people are speculating that it's going to be like Risen Shigaru for some reason, but I don't really pay attention to data mining, so not sure.
We'll do Master Rank optional MR3. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brachidios. You want to do a Brachidios? Is that easy? That's probably not easy.
I mean, Brachidios is I know enough about him. I should be able to do him. It's been long
Oh
enough.
yeah,
What does he not
I
like?
forgot the slingshot exists.
Yeah,
it's
I was
been a
trying to
lot of,
wire
like-
bug out of everything, and I just kept like mashing buttons.
I don't do that because I never made it a habit in Rise.
Been
but
playing a lot of Elden Ring the past month too, so I was like trying to hit right bumper to hit stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I don't remember any of these controls. And I was playing Rise not that long ago, and still. All right, what does he not like? Orchidios doesn't like. Now that I'm back to dual blades, this matters. Ice.
Nate, I think he's doing pretty well. I know he got snowed in over the weekend in North Dakota. He is a good friend, but he is not great about like just general life. Like I over communicate, and I recognize that. Nate has the opposite problem.
Yeah.
So unless I bug him, he doesn't give updates.
That is a genetic thing from our dad, because I have it too, but I've trained myself to at least like be a little bit more updating about stuff. Like if anything major happens, I would do it. It's just it doesn't really happen that often, but for him, it seems like he's got a lot more going on.
Yeah. But the last update I did get was good. He and Abby, who I think she's been on a stream or two, I think.
Yeah.
But they're in North Dakota. He's getting settled in. I think this is his 3rd week at his job. I think last time we talked, he said he was feeling more comfortable with things. Yeah, they just got snowed in. Cheryl, we did not play. We kind of played Waterdeep this weekend, but not the main thing. The Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries we did not get to play because Nate was having problems moving his stuff into their apartment because of the snowstorm. So he wasn't set up with Wi-Fi and stuff. We're hoping that we'll be able to play next weekend and get back into the Xanath Slayer. But we could talk about D&D stuff.
Yeah, we
who
got a lot of that
played
actually.
some D&D this weekend?
I technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys go first. We'll talk about our dry run after.
Yeah. Paz, you said you did?
Yep, I playtested very limitedly, but I did playtest some of the new D&D stuff that we are going to be getting into. Some of the 1 D&D stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
I'm happy with a lot of it. I did go over some of it in the very beginning of the stream, but if you weren't here for that, pretty much a lot of good stuff's happening. We're getting a lot of fun, new, interesting feats and whatnots to replace some of the old ones. They're going to evolve in a sense, even though we really didn't do too much of that because, like I said, it's a lot of playtesting. So it's kind of hard to give everyone like, hey, this heads up, this is what's going on. It's a little hard to do that sometimes with playtesting and whatnot. What I'm super excited about is just all the potential that there is for D&D. It's going to be fun, definitely. There is going to be some bumps in the road, people. 100%. Do not expect this to be a smooth, as much as we want it to be smooth and everything, it's not going to be. It just will not. Which kind of sucks, but it's
the nature of the beast. Especially, I think people have really high hopes after the success that 5th edition has been, and I would not anticipate the same level of growth or anything in the game that 5th edition from 4th to 5th. If you're expecting that sort of like climactic change, it's not going to be the case. But yeah, awesome. So you did some play testing.
It was
Friday,
super fun, and I enjoyed everything.
On Friday, I finished up. So I've been doing the Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. And my promise to myself was I was going to run in an adventure league, which I have been doing, and I was going to run all of the campaign from the module, as well as the Season 10 Adventurers League content, which is essentially a long, like 13 adventure. What is
Side story.
roughly 52 hours of content, 13 times 4. 52 hours of other adventure stuff that happens at the same time as Rime of the Frost Maiden is happening. And we did the last part of that on Friday. And Black Knight, you played in it. What did you think?
It was pretty good. I forgot to take notes, but that's okay. It's over anyway.
God damn.
It was good. I liked it. We fought a bunch of eldritch horrors from beyond the depths.
Yeah, this was the closest to D&D's roots that I've played, which is this was essentially a war game for 4 hours using D&D rules. There was a massive invasion of a community by horrors from the far realm, and it's designed as an epic. So it's designed so that you have multiple tables that are playing the same thing at the same time in different areas. And we had like 6 player characters, as well as there was a Circle of the Moon Druid. So they summoned 5 elementals using the planar, whatever, not summon elemental, but the other one that makes your summon more permanent for 30 days. That spell. So I basically was like, fuck it, I'll treat it like you have 10 PCs and I'm going to bring that many enemies to kill you. And it was a slugfest, but I had a really good time running it. And then Saturday we played in our Hero Forge. It was essentially a dry run. I wouldn't call it a play test.
Yeah.
Because the adventure is canon. What happened will have counted as essentially character background for the live stream, and it is canon to Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries. So Cheryl, I know you've been following the Waterdeep campaign. So I did play in an adventure that is canon to Waterdeep with a group of players that are not our usual players, playing characters that are not our usual characters, but doing things in Waterdeep. And I guess, Tom, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about how it went.
Yeah, so I was doing the cameraman work for the whole thing. So I wasn't actually playing in it, but I was doing what is going to be my job during the actual live stream, which is doing all the OBS stuff, hosting the stream, and basically playing as a quote-unquote player in the game for the sake of capturing the feed for everyone else. Like from the actual point of view of the campaign, from what little I actually was able to gather when I wasn't busy. I mean, it seems interesting enough. Like I've only caught a few bits and pieces of the actual Waterdeep campaign itself, but it seemed like it followed suit with everything else that's been established so far. It seems like a really fun idea in terms of what happened during the story.
Yes.
I've always used Waterdeep as a point of oh, my character's from there, so I pretend to bullshit about it for a bit. But this was interesting in that I got to see more of what actually happens in Waterdeep. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good so far.
What?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what did actually happen in Waterdeep. I'm not familiar with the backstory, but the Volcana died.
So Waterdeep is D&D's I wouldn't say default setting, but there are modes. The setting that they make the most material for is Forgotten Realms, which is where Icewind Dale is. Icewind Dale is magical Alaska. Waterdeep is magical New York City.
Okay.
Giant metropolis. Almost the opposite of Icewind Dale. Magic is everywhere. A ton of people. A very urban environment. I don't want to talk too much about the adventure, but essentially the group here, instead of being a group of adventurers, just like a gang of what would you call them, Tom? Like thugs and miscreants and numbskulls?
That's kind of what it seemed like from like the bit I picked up on whenever all that was happening. Yeah, it seemed like just kind of like your general like not mercenary group, but sort of just like somewhere in between bandits
Useful
and like bad
idiots.
guys. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. They are still full player characters. They're not like playing like NPC thugs or anything, but they don't have the prestige or experience or any of that stuff as the main squad. So they got hired. Waterdeep has 8 walking statues, which are famous magical landmarks. They got hired to steal one of them. That's the adventure. I don't want to say what happened because we are going to publish that adventure. I'm editing it.
I was going to ask, if that was coming out or not.
Yes, so it'll come out I think it'll come out Thanksgiving Sunday, the 27th. So not too far from now. I had to cut things short, unfortunately. I was planning on a 4-hour adventure, and we just got 3 hours of the dry run. But I basically did that. The way I handled that was I just ran encounters a little tighter and a little shorter. I cut. There was supposed to be a fight at one point. Tom, you probably picked up on.
I do remember that part.
Sidestepped.
Yeah.
And then the very last thing, the thing that I was hoping to do, we were just running out of time, and I didn't get to do where they actually like pilot one of the statues.
Yeah, it was gonna be like a mech fight. It seemed like.
It still seemed like everyone had a good time, and for a dry run, like people had a good time. And then we worked out all our technical stuff. I guess, Tom, I did want to ask you, what did you think of Tailspire compared to like Roll20 and other like Foundry and all that stuff?
It definitely is like has a lot more like creative freedom. I mean, assuming that the DM is willing to work with like creating 3D models, because you seem to put a lot of work into. I mean, like all the sets that I saw were really impressive. Like I really like the way that it does lighting, shading, and just like the tools it has for like revealing stuff is a little bit easier than Roll20, if that is even possible, since 3D is more complex.
It has more built-in like line of sight mechanics and stuff.
The built-in parts, like the connective tissue, is a lot more seamless than Roll20. Although it's it's not necessarily as adaptive depending on how you want to play your game. But it seemed really cool. Like it's definitely more work on the DM side, at least the more prep work. But I think it makes running it a lot more easy, and it's a little bit more intuitive to like see what's going on. Like I heard less players asking like what is this or what is that. And that's the nature of 3D. But I think it's if you're willing to do more prep work rather than doing more work during the thing, it makes having to learn stuff on the fly a lot less hard. So more work up front, but I liked it. I thought it was really good, and I think as a program, it runs pretty well. It could use some help with optimization, but they have a warning right at the beginning that says, "Hey, this is a work in progress, so expect bugs." But for early release, they doing work. They doing pretty damn good work, I will say.
Yeah, I will say. So I used the Waterdeep location as an opportunity to build some really, really elaborate set pieces. And I think what I learned from the dry run is there's not a lot of value in that. It felt like they were visually impressive, but they were getting in the way of people just playing the game. So the maps that I felt like were most effective for players to play in was like that last map where it was pretty bare bones. So I'm going to try and figure out a compromise between the two. I'll figure something out. But yeah, we learned a lot, and it was fun. Keep an eye out for the 27th. And keep an eye out, I think we said it at the beginning of the stream, but keep an eye out. We are live streaming on Hero Forge's Twitch channel December 6th at 5:30 p.m. They, again, generously have supplied us with a bunch of prizes for our extra live stream. In addition to that, they have they basically asked us, hey, do you want to come live stream with us? And when a company like that asks to work with you, you kind of just say yes.
Yeah. You like their product.
So yeah, look forward to that. And then Sunday, I guess it was a pretty heavy D&D weekend for me, which I didn't realize going into it. Sunday was originally going to be a double I was supposed to run a Domain of Dread, take an hour break, and then run Waterdeep. We didn't do Waterdeep, but we did do a Domain of Dread. We finished out Valachan, and unfortunately, Nathan, you had to dip out early, but
yes, but I heard about the T-Rex.
yes, I had a magical T-Rex that shot lasers, and I
So you're saying you had a
I almost
dinosaur
killed
laser
the whole
fight?
party.
Yes.
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
I almost wiped the whole party. I would have killed them. I would have got it too, but we had we started with 5
Damn
players.
meddling kids.
Yeah. We damn it. We started with 5 players, and we just had people have to go again, time constraint. So the only reason they survived was because the clock ran out.
I was gonna ask actually, have you ever total party killed before? I don't know if that's ever been a goal of yours, but I've never actually
It's
bothered to
not
ask
like
that.
a goal of mine. I don't pull punches when I DM.
Right.
I've DM'd for you, Tom.
Oh yeah,
I don't pull punches when I DM, but I don't. It's not a goal for me. This was my one and I think I told you all going into it, like, this is my attempt to build just as hard a series of encounters, draining of as much resources as possible, and really see if I can. The Domain of Dread of Valachan is essentially Heart of Darkness. It's a jungle domain. The Dark Lord was originally a great white hunter, like that trope that preyed on the natives, and the adventurers are like essentially trying to save them. The version that I was running, the Dark Lord had been deposed by Chakuna, who is a native that. This is a fun story. So she ripped out her own heart and offered it to the Dark Powers. So her heart is resting inside a maze in Valachan. But as a result, she was able to behead the old Dark Lord, the Great White Hunter.
No, why am I stuck in this? There we go. Sorry.
So
He's still alive, and in her manor, his talking head is like mounted there. Which, if we hadn't run out of time, you all would have had a chance to meet him, which I was looking forward to. But yeah, so Chakuna puts on this thing called the Trial of the Hearts, which is essentially the Hunger Games. So Valachan is like Heart of Darkness meets Hunger Games with a lot of dinosaurs. The party was getting to the shrine, and they have to compete against these other teams, which they did. Over the course of 2 sessions, there were 2 other teams. You kind of tricked one of them to back off, and then fought the other one and killed most of them. And then you got to the shrine, and there's this dinosaur laser fight with a magical T-Rex who could blink step, had an awesome multi-attack, and had legendary actions, and had a laser she could fire. And I almost wiped the party. It was real good. It was real good.
Wait, real quick, Cameron. So you've never TPK'd anyone then?
I have never TPK'd a party. I have killed player characters, but never.
I know, it's
TPK'd.
surprising, right?
That my first 3 sessions, I completely TPK'd my entire friend group.
I was
saying,
I was asking more of, like, I know some people treat it as a badge of honor. I have never done it, but I'm always curious because some people
have done it multiple times.
So
hey,
I think a big part of it is. I think a big part of it is when I started DMing, I've basically been running modules and stuff. And my first time DMing was not first time DMing, but in 5th edition when I DM'd for real, it's been this Waterdeep campaign where I took over as DM, running a module, and the party was already level 2.
Oh.
Damn it!
What happened?
I suck balls tonight. All right.
Oh well.
I'll probably sit out since we have 5 hunters. I might sit out this last hunt and just hang out and chat so the good hunters can accomplish something, and I'm not a fucking burden.
Okay,
but yeah,
they love you. You're not a burden.
So So because Waterdeep, I picked up a module and I picked up at level 2. The deadliest part of adventures tend to be level 1 and the DM not knowing anything.
Yeah. But that's still surprising that you. Hold on. Let me ask you one question, Cameron. Have you ever wanted to TPK a party?
I've never had that desire. No, I could see myself
you
running
don't know
a
the
one-
power it gives you. No
Right.
one looks forward to TPKing a party. It happened by mistake in my thing, but you get a rush. I will say that. Like I was like, oh shit, I have the power to make these characters live or die. It's a rush. The first time it
but
happened.
I think intellectually and emotionally, I already know that. Like I
Oh.
recognize that success in D&D, because the DM is the arbitrator. Success in D&D is almost an illusion. Like the GM can kill the party at any time.
Yes.
There's nothing stopping me from throwing an Elder White Dragon or 20 of them. So like because of that, like I've never felt the need or desire to do it. And I think I have pretty good session zeros and I don't put up with bullshit. So I don't ever feel frustrated at my players, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get
I've
that.
got good players that like I schedule things out and I manage things so that I'm always playing when I want to play, and the people I want to play with are pretty good. So I've never like run a session and afterwards been like, I fucking hate that group. If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I've never
But it's just it's not about being like my first time it happened accidentally and I felt super
Right.
shitty.
Oh yeah.
But I got over that pretty quickly because it was my first ever DM session. I had never DM'd before. It was a bunch of really close personal friends, and they all had a good laugh at it. And did my first 3 parties go horribly wrong? Absolutely. Were they, doing
Ballet
some-
of Frost.
Absolutely. Huh?
That's the name of the quest. It gets you some layer armor, I believe.
Put up a quest.
Who did?
But I mean, I was super. I will say this: when it happens, and it's like when your players are giving it 100%, and you see like the sweat on their brow, and they're like, "We might die, we might die, we might die," and they all die, and you gave it 100%, and they know it. It's almost rewarding in a sense
Wish I
because
could be a
you're like,
dragoon.
they know I was not holding back here. Okay. They put their all, and it just wasn't good enough, unfortunately. Bad D&D is at the core of the game. D&D is luck based.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you it's skill. No, okay, it's 1,000% luck based, and sometimes the dice are just not gonna be there with you, and that sucks. But guess what? There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. But it does feel good the first couple of times you TKP, especially if your group is,
One thing I
being a
forgot.
little immature, or they're not taking it seriously. I might throw a fight in there that might be a level or 2 or a CR if you want to get specific, or like a little bit higher than what they are, just to kind of be like, and have 1 or 2 players die, and they're like, shit, we almost messed that up.
Yeah, I've killed player characters before, and if Chamali had done a party wipe, I would have been okay with it. It's just the fact that in this case, players were leaving. I didn't want to kill someone's character
Yeah.
because they had to leave early.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
But,
I don't
you know,
think I've ever
I
had
think
a
it's,
character. Never mind. I'll say it later.
Black Knight, what
You
did
know-
he say?
I already have some.
I don't think I've ever had a character die in the D&D session. What?
Oh,
what
yeah,
Yeah, well, you
It's one
fucking
of my
bailed.
games.
Sunday was the
Yeah.
opportunity for it to happen,
Yeah,
and you
it was, but I had stuff to go take care of. Maybe next week, or
Black
whenever we're
Knight,
playing it.
I think
guarantee
Black
you,
Knight-
get into one of my,
Tom, I think we're waiting on
get
you
into
guys
one
to
of my
join the
games, I'll
quest.
kill you real quick.
I'm
okay?
already on a quest. I posted
Oh.
one. I've got 2 other people in here with me.
Okay, you got
Oh.
me, Luna.
I think you can still
I think-
join. We
alright,
we
yeah.
have one more slot. I thought you said you were staying out or something.
Well, I think it was Okonkwo's turn to post.
But
Anyway, so if you do end up dying, you just make a new character, I presume.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've had
It
people come
depends.
to me and be like, if you kill me, I want to play a new character. You know? I've had that
It's,
happen before.
It's yeah, it's up to the DM and what they want to do. Some people do
It's like a meat
quests
grinder
to
thing.
resurrect your old character.
Yeah, that's usually
Um,
what happened so far in like the 2 or 3 big ones I've played in. But it also kind of depends. Maybe it's like a low magic thing where it's like, nah, man, death is death. You can play a new character, but you can't get him back. But that just depends on what kind of game are you wanting to play.
Each of us failed. Hey, look, Revivify can fail. You know? It can 100% fail, and trust me, there is nothing more heart-wrenching as a DM, especially if you're really fond of that character, than having to say, yeah, your Revivify did not work, they are gone. And just the look on your player's face where they're like, that
Yeah.
character is gone. Whether that be an NPC or a player character, it can be damn near traumatic sometimes, like, to you. You know, sometimes you're like, damn, I was not expecting this to happen this way, and it just does. Other times, you know, sometimes you gotta kill off an NPC and show that you're serious.
Yeah,
You
I guess for context, running the domains of dread, I am not pulling punches from killing characters. I think Black Knight, you've seen 2 other players lose characters.
I know the guy in the labyrinth or whatever. I saw him die. The fire element.
And then there was, or maybe you weren't there.
Something
The zombie domain.
I was there for that. I just don't remember who died.
I thought it was the cleric, whatever their name was. But anyway, yeah, those sorts of things, like, especially these next couple adventures, I think will get deadlier and deadlier until the final confrontation with the big bad guy. Am I disappointed that I didn't kill anyone? Maybe a little.
Just a little bit.
I think that's a natural feeling as a DM,
Yeah.
especially if you play, you know.
I think-
there have been games where I've killed multiple people in multiple sessions, and there have been sessions where, you know, hell, I've had someone die in a shopping session before, you know. I've
Oh,
had
shit,
every
yeah,
type
that's
of
right.
pet you can imagine. You know,
I think-
hey, look,
I
you
think
should not have
for-
touched the cursed blade. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I think for me, Alachan is like the domain of the hunter, so at least one player character death would have been nice to just be on theme. But yeah, we'll see what happens for the next ones.
Yeah, I'm really hoping
Jeez.
I can, hopefully,
I'm being
if I
stun
can
knocked.
freaking find time for it. I'm hoping maybe if people aren't. Wait,
No
do we have a
iframe
session
in
planned
this,
for
damn.
Thanksgiving?
No, but I'm doing Thanksgiving.
No, but like around then. I think we do. don't we?
The next domain.
I'm doing Cyberverse on Black Friday.
Damn you.
And then I'm Cyberverse Red, or not Cyberverse, sorry, Cyberpunk. I'm running Cyberpunk Red.
Ooh, that sounds
Um,
fun.
I actually don't have, I still don't have a full table for that. If anyone wants to join in,
I'll
it'll be
join.
kind of a learn. It'll be kind of a learn and play.
I played both the video game and the actual. Oh, freaking what's it called? Wait, is it the thing on Roll20 or no?
Yes, it'll be through Roll20.
I know, but is there a Cyberpunk thing for Roll20? Is it like a plug-in or an add-on?
Yeah. There's
or
like
are
a
we just going standard character creation theme Cyberpunkness?
no. This is Cyberpunk Red rules. This is not a D&D adaptation.
Oh, fuck.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's what
There
Cyberpunk comes
was.
from.
I guess I'll talk about that for a second. There is a D&D adaptation for Cyberpunk, and I think it's
Probably a few.
super dumb. So Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the anime, when that came out a little while ago, a month ago or something, or maybe not technically not an anime, maybe it's just a cartoon. Cyberpunk Edge Runners came out, and people were like, "Oh, do you want to play Cyberpunk? Come check out D&D 5e's conversion for Cyberpunk." And I'm like, motherfuckers!
Damn.
The show is based on the RPG came first.
Yeah. Oh my God, fuck off,
Cyberpunk
Tiger X.
2020 came out
Jesus.
in the 90s,
Not that one.
and it is amazing. And people were, I don't know why
Mike
they were
Pondsmith,
being
one of the
idiots
best.
about it. Plus,
Oh my God.
so
That's so bad.
Are we talking? I thought Edge Runners was based on the CD Projekt Red game.
It is,
oh
which
my
is
God,
based
you
on.
fucking
yeah.
idiot. No, shut the hell up.
All right.
The CD Projekt Red game
Damn,
is
get him,
based
Cameron.
on Cyberpunk
Jesus.
2020.
All right.
Mike Pondsmith is the author of Cyberpunk.
Uh-huh.
He created it, and here is an important thing: he is one of the first and most prominent Black creators in the tabletop
That's true.
RPG
He is.
space.
I like. Mike
So
Pondsmith
he
a lot.
deserves his credit, and
Yep.
people should know that he made Cyberpunk. All right,
Now I know.
Yeah.
now you know.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's based on the game, which is based on the old tabletop RPG, which is funny because
Cyberpunk came out in 1988, and then there was Cyberpunk 2020, and then Cyberpunk Red, and then Cyberpunk. What's the
2077 is the CG,
20
is the GDPR one.
yes.
Yeah,
So
that's the
so it all advances in the same timeline. So Cyberpunk 2020 happens in 2020. Cyberpunk Red happens in like the 2030s, and then Black Knight Cyberpunk 2077. So if you played that one, you know like future stuff to what Red's doing in the timeline.
Of which I have not played that game yet. I know about it. But I've not
I've
played
heard they've like fixed it up.
it. Yeah, that's what my friend said.
People have been playing a
I
lot
have
more
no
of it
trouble
recently
with it.
because of the anime.
Yeah.
It looks.
The
It looks a
anime's
lot
bad
better.
too, though.
I have
Well,
not seen
no,
any
the
anime.
anime's not bad. It's just the game had so much hype and everything, and there was no way it could ever,
Yeah.
I can ever live up to that. And it just, where the? I'm on Roll20. I don't see Cyberpunk. Where the is it?
Do you
They can
search
buy
it?
it. Yeah.
These potions are
You can
dog
buy
shit.
this
in
thing.
this.
I'll buy it.
God,
Well, I have it already.
I found it. Cyberpunk Red.
so slow.
But yeah, compared to D&D, it looks like it's pretty rules light.
Yes, much more compared to D&D. It's one of the original like cyberpunk games that's also mostly just about humans. There's no like extra races or anything.
Yeah.
Which I've always wanted to play
I'm
for that
still
reason.
I still gotta learn Red, so like it'll be kind of a we'll all play together and learn kind of thing.
Ooh, I could get the freaking whole box set. Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
No, you're fine. But yeah, boom headshot. Yeah, I got mad. It's not Black Knight's fault.
That's definitely a game I've always.
That is the maddest I've ever heard Cameron ever.
Honestly,
It's not Black Knight's fault. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Black Knight.
He's just
mad
disappointed.
I'm mad at no. What I'm mad at is whatever
forgot about this.
idiot, stupid gaming news outlet that published an article when Cyberpunk Edge Runners
about
came
yeah.
out. That was like,
That
Happens
do
to
you want to
Witcher,
play?
too.
Do you want to play Cyberpunk Edge Runners? Check out this D&D 5th edition conversion. And at no point in their original version of the article did they credit Mike Pondsmith.
That does actually bother me because Mike Pondsmith
At
has
no point did they
like-
credit the creator of Cyberpunk or mention that the game has its own rule set or mention that Edge Runners is already based on a tabletop RPG. I'm getting that all over again. I'm gonna stop.
It's like there's a comics guy that had that
Talk about
happen too. He's like the only like prolific black comics writer. Duffy was his last name.
and then he passed
people
away.
people were really shitty to him. It's like the one comics trivia I know is like yeah, there was a prolific
He made
black
Static
writer.
Shock.
That's right. Yeah, it was this creator of fucking Static Shock. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I could go on a fucking rant about that real quick. Okay, so there's
Yeah,
an
go ahead.
amazing comic book
Yeah.
writer. He's amazing. I love the man. He made one of my favorite cartoon series, Static Shock. Well, he didn't make that show, but he had a lot of the Dakotaverse. Okay, so real quick.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different places. This place is called Dakotaverse because it took place in Dakota. But anyways, so if you've never heard of Static Shock, first of all, how dare you? Educate
Good show.
yourself, damn it. Super good show. Also based off of
We're talking about the
World and
90s,
Iceborne.
right? The 90s or early
Oh, yes.
2000s.
Yeah, really,
Chuck?
yeah.
Yes. Anyways, Static Shock, really fun, really good show. Had a really interesting story because we don't get a lot of shows like this. Anyways, Static Shock, great thing. The guy who made it, Dwayne McDuffie.
Dwayne
God,
McDuffie. That's
can't
it. Yeah.
remember
It's
his
sorry, McDuffie. That's
Yes.
his name. Yeah.
So, yes. So, Dwayne McDuffie with a bunch of other prolific black creators created this, not just
Oh, what?
Static, a bunch of comics. And we're just really,
Never
really
happened before.
amazing.
This is
He
what I love
unfortunately
about
passed away.
Yeah.
Really sad. He died in 2011.
All right, Monster Hunter. Come
It
on.
was just such an amazing freaking person. He created his own universe called the Dakotaverse with a majority of African American superheroes that were not just freaking steel.
They weren't the stereotype like
thing to
soldiers
steal,
either.
but-
Yeah.
Exactly. You had one of the most amazing, in my opinion, Static Shock, who dealt with like real things. His mom was a cop that got killed.
Yeah. Even the
and that
cartoon
thing-
especially
he had
did
the
not
thing
shy.
against guns. Yeah. So amazing creator, had his own place. He created Static Shock, Damage Control, and he also did a lot of Ben 10.
Oh, I did not know
You
that.
didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, he also had Milestone Media, which is his kind of company.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was a big boom for a lot of African American artists and writers. If you ever want to look it up, look up Milestone Media. You can see a lot of really interesting and cool characters. The best known being Static Shock, but also a lot of those characters and those people that worked on that have gone on to make other things. Like one of my favorite Spider-Man, Miles Morales. If you don't know who that is, get your head, look up some Miles Morales.
I love
stuff,
Miles
'cause
Morales.
He's an amazing. I love Miles Morales too. He's such a good fucking character. And he's finally in where he belongs in the main DC universe. I mean, main Marvel universe, kicking it with freaking Peter Parker, which is amazing. I love that shit. But yeah, he's amazing. But yeah, Milestone has finally come back as well. They're finally back as of I think 2019 or 2020. I think there was like Milestone comes back or Milestone returns. That's what it's called.
Oh, I think I remember the logo for Milestone. I just vaguely.
Yes.
I think it was in the show. Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of really. It's Earth M, which is just it's got my boy Static back in it. I love my boy Static. It's a really fun, really fun. I love all of it.
Cheryl, thank you for your
it's still
donation.
going as well. We got
TTRPG
Static.
Russell.
Who doesn't look Static Shock? At least I do. They have Icon, Rocket,
Thank you,
Hardware,
Cheryl.
Blood Syndicate, Duo, and yeah, there's a lot of really interesting characters, a lot of really fun stuff. And yeah, if you ever want to look up that stuff, look up Milestone Comics and Static Shock because I love my boy Static. You know, he's so fun.
Oh yeah, easily one of my
yes,
favorites.
Dwayne McDuffie was 100% wrong. A lot of shit, I'm not going to get into it because I'll be here for 30 years, but a lot of shit was just, he got fucked.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Someone I
It
think
wasn't
wrote
fair, and it was just a lot of stuff, a lot of prejudice as well, you know, and that's just sad that in, you know, this day and age we're still having that type of shit, and it held him back it held him back, and that is just heart-wrenching because he is such a creative freaking writer, and especially now that he's passed away too, so we can't get like a lot of his just amazing stuff that he had in his head. But yeah, he's an amazing person, amazing writer, and you know, he's worked in so much shit, just like we don't even know. Static Shock, Justice League Unlimited. He did a bunch of shit with Ben 10, like Ben 10, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and even one of my favorite Superman movies, All-Star Superman and comics. Yeah, he is. Also, interesting enough, he's related to Keegan-Michael Key, apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I forgot that
that's
he
his
did
half-brother.
All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman is so good.
It's the best Superman comic I think there is, or modern day Superman comic, because
I think so.
both
Yeah,
old and
it's
modern, but-
wonderful. It's what
Yeah.
it's a quintessential Superman story.
Oh yeah. Oh, he had a. But yeah, he got screwed over a lot, unfortunately, because you know, people sometimes didn't give him a chance, and that's so tragic because he has shown time and time again, I am such a good writer, I am such a good creator, but no one will give me the time of day, and that's terrible. And you know what? A lot of his comics
Oh, it was a
and
capture?
his entire media was focused on minority
Jesus.
characters.
Okay. Just can't win tonight.
You know, which I think, if you,
Speaking of which,
I'm gonna say, if you think of the big Justice League, okay, we got Batman, white guy, Superman, white guy, Wonder Woman, white woman, Flash, white guy, Green Arrow, white guy, Green Lantern, white guy, Cyborg, finally a black guy. But that's just one. Aquaman, white guy. I mean, you know, not a whole lot of diversity in that group, and they're all straight as well. You know, we had a lot of stuff. Also, here's an interesting thing. Miles Morales is an amazing character. You should really read his comic books. But he was one of the first comics, or at least the planned comic was going to deal about, you know, underage sex, and that's a very huge taboo in comics, but, you know, they were like, oh, let's do it, and Marvel was like, yeah, wait, no, we can't do it. You got to put a kibosh on it. And they said, let's censor the cover, and we're going to have it, like, tastefully censored. And a lot of people were like, well, the cover doesn't show anything. It just shows two teens kissing on a couch, and that can be interpreted a billion other ways. So people were like, is it because he's black? And Marvel was like, what? No, of course not. No, what are you talking about? No. And a lot of people were thinking yes, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he's an amazing creator. So sad that he passed away, because he would have, I think, really enjoyed where hero comics has gone, and he would have probably given us so many more amazing characters. But yeah, if you want to look up anything, I would suggest Static Shock. Amazing character, amazing TV show. His comics are finally coming back in Milestone. If you want to take out other comics that are similar, you can look at some other of his comics. Hold on, give me a second. I have to go back to Milestone. Hold on.
Yeah, Wrath, it's been a rough night for hunting.
Yeah, well, this was the brush off the cobwebs stream, right?
I just
it's our
baby-brained
first
and
time playing
forgot.
World again.
Yeah.
We'll get back to things.
Where's the despair?
We'll get back. I'm assuming, Tom, that we're done for the night.
I figured
I don't
unless
know
you
if
wanted
I
to
have
try
another one
something
in me.
else, yeah. The last one I didn't
No.
die, we ended up killing it
We-
because I
we
forgot it was
forgot
a
to capture
capture.
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
took
we-
so long compared to Rise. I was like, God, when is this thing gonna die?
I do feel like Sunbreak has better health inflation than Iceborne does, because
Yes.
Sunbreak doesn't have the clutch claw mechanic thing where like the math for monster HP is like counting on you softening up a target.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is brushing off the cobwebs. The goal is that we will be streaming again on Thursday, helping Osprey out with progression stuff. And now that I brushed off the cobwebs, we'll be doing some.
Right as rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do better next time. I don't know that I want to do Behemoth again. We hunted him. It's on the thumbnail. I don't need to fucking do that fight ever again.
Don't
And,
bother.
Just because you
not
failed
worth
doesn't
it.
mean anything.
It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Yeah, next time we'll hunt some more Iceborne stuff. And yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks again for the donations. I don't know what
thank
our
you,
current
Cheryl. Thank you. I
total
think
is.
someone else did as well earlier. But thank you so much for the donations. I will put that link for Extra Life in chat again real quick.
Yeah, and
yes,
and
much
like we
appreciated.
said, go pay attention to and support your different Black creators, because the industries that they're involved in tend not to be as egalitarian and equitable as they would like to pretend to be. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out. Just support your local
Look,
artists.
I love
whoever-
Stan Lee, but he did some shady shit, man.
Yeah. And check us out one more time, December 6th on Hero Forge's Twitch. Tom and I will be there. Hannah and Danny from Waterdeep will be there, as well as our good friend Tanner and Henderson, who will be new to the channel. I'm pretty sure that Tanner's never been on there. And then Annika doing some more Waterdeep. Oh, I'll announce the name. Spoiler alert. They picked the team name, and it's awful. The Rattacrew. They are called the Rattacrew.
Oh
amazing.
God, that's right. I was
That's
trying to
not a
block
bad
that out from my
name.
memory.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It's like
a
canon.
damage. Everyone
Hey,
gets
do you want to
psychic
go through my
damage.
top 5 worst team names my characters have ever done?
So, what was
Sure.
it supposed to be like radic?
The
Radix
worst one is the Turtle Fuckers.
Hmm.
There was a really bad incident with a druid, okay? He turned a whole village, a wizard turned a whole village into turtles with polymorph. And then a druid just had a very unfortunate... The druid came in late, did it, and the party was like, let's make it like a turtle. And shit happened, it was horrible, and that's
Not a good
definitely the worst name. Another golden
You s-
one was...
Wait, you started out with number 1?
Yeah, oh.
Okay,
You
keep
can't
going.
do worse than Turtle Fuckers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to go past
Yes.
that.
NoobTube spelled
Number
exactly
2
the
would
same
be,
way.
Oh,
number
I
2
was
would
actually
be the
spelling it.
Fuck Boys.
Keep
I
going.
think someone in chat, spelled it both ways.
Another one would be the Fuck Boys, not the Fuck Boys, the Fuck Boys,
Yeah.
which was ironically an all-female group. Go fucking figure.
Love it.
Really confused a lot of clientele. Yeah. A weird one was Spit Seeds. One of the actual characters in real life was eating watermelon and kept spitting the seeds at different players, and that name just stuck, and it was a very weird and oddly disgusting thing. We had dishwasher at one point, and I'm like, this is gonna be really fun. We had 2 artificers, and they created indoor plumbing and dishwashers. So they just went around to different places and was just... At one point, we stopped becoming an adventuring party, and we're just becoming salesmen that sell dishwashers. It's amazing, really. You think indoor plumbing, bathrooms? No, they said, fuck it, we're going right to dishwashers. Yeah, I've had really weird campaigns, man. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Some people I think are sharing their own ones. One's called the Wrecking Crew. That's a good
Oh, see,
one.
that sounds good though.
Yeah, the Wrecking Crew. I like it. Cheryl Arnold says we are the Tunnelers. I'm assuming
Okay.
you spend a lot of time cave diving or something. Maybe Spelunkers is another good one. But yeah, I think this is a live stream. We successfully booted up Monster Hunter Iceborne and played it. Confirmed all the controls. Good first stream back.
Right.
And we'll catch you all on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Later.
See
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.
December 10th. Live stream December 10th. Fuck. Get out of here.
Yeah.